My name is Collin. This is my wife, Hailey.
And we have one son. We are expecting our second in January, and we have been married for just shy of 2 years. And we got married, and at about 6 months in, we hit a point of, why are we still doing this? Nothing's working. Thinking that we were communicating well and good with one another, when in reality we weren't at all. But I felt like I had tried everything, and I then went to him and said I just want a divorce.
At that point, I was kind of in the same boat she was. Like, try everything you can and nothing's gonna work. Well, whatever. And then when she said she wanted to get a divorce, it kind of like opens your eyes. But then at the same time, also kind of puts you in a dark place because you just feel like you're useless at that point in time. So yeah, it was very eye-opening. And
Yeah, so in my mind I was pretty dead set that, okay, we're gonna end up getting a divorce and this is just what's gonna happen. We just happened to go to church on Sunday, and the Great Marriages did a presentation at church on Sunday. And I was bawling my eyes out the entire presentation because it was my husband and I to a T of completely working against one another, not knowing how to communicate, just running it solo even though you are together. So I figured, why not just give it a shot? What's one more try? Give it everything that we've got for this last try and see where it takes us. So we started off with one couple, and we had realized, I think after seeing them maybe twice, that they just weren't for us. We weren't quite clicking well enough with them. So at that point I had reached out, and that's when we were then paired with Steve and Laura. And the clicking point, I think honestly it happened pretty quick with when we hit the communication and talking about how to have efficient communication. And there's an exercise where you say something and then your partner has to repeat it back to you in their own words. And I think we giggled quite a few times because you would say something and the way I interpreted was completely different than what he had actually meant by it. So it was a lot of correction, and then taking that and going home. Now we don't need to do all those really fine-tuning corrections because it's a lot of better understanding, as opposed to him saying one thing and me taking it a completely different direction and vice versa. So, because that changed everything when you finally just know what someone's saying.
I'd have to agree with the communication part of it because I was not good with communication prior to going through the program. She can contest to that.
Well, I can admit that I was not very good either. The way I went about things, it was very aggressive and kind of cold at times when I didn't intend it to be. It was just...
Yeah, and then I would respond in the same way back.
Yeah.
So it would always just be an arguing point, and you'd never resolve it.
Yeah, just keep going in circles. So Steve and Laura taught us budgeting through Financial Peace University and Dave Ramsey, and we then had access to watch the videos of Financial Peace University, and it was incredibly compelling, and it was just this huge motivating factor to just start it. Just start the budgeting, just do it. It's going to be hard at first, it's going to be uncomfortable, and it was and still is at times. But you see the payoff, and it's so worth it. We're saving for a house, and we've paid off, at this point, probably $9,000 in debt since going through the program.
Yeah, because of mentoring, like as a couple, we're definitely a lot closer. I mean, maybe not as much as we were when we first got married, but like, that's also because it's fresh and new and you're all excited about it. But Also, like, having a kid and going through the program, like, that's also an eye-opener because, like, you don't realize how much your kids weigh on you, and then that in turn weighs on your marriage. So, like, understanding that, like, you can switch off roles with your partner, with kids, and not have to be the only one doing it. And, like, I think we just love each other more.
Yeah, 100%. Where we're at now, aside from today, we normally don't say the D word. It's just called the D word, and we don't talk about divorce. And we have since committed to, we're going to work through any problems that arise as opposed to just throwing in the towel and feeling like it's just time to give up. It's just time to find someone else, when truly, if you find someone else, you're probably going to be in the same boat of issues. It all comes down to you don't know how to communicate and get on the same page with someone. We love Steve and Laura. We've actually gotten dinner with them since finishing going through the mentoring program. They're amazing. They inspired us, and then in turn, I think we also inspired them. So we talk about them frequently and what a difference that they made. Yeah.
Yes, we definitely would recommend Great Marriages to anybody who's struggling. Even if you're not struggling, it's a good program to go through. If you're married, not married, you learn a lot about your partner going through it, and you also can figure out a lot of issues that you will personally have and issues your partner has. I mean, it's a very good program to go through, and I would recommend it to anybody.
Even if you're at a point where you're dating and talking about marriage, go through Great Marriages. It is so eye-opening. You will learn so much about the person that you're with. Great Marriages absolutely saved our marriage. We would not still be married if it wasn't for Great Marriages.